I want to welcome you back to Black Site Tonight. We're going to talk about ESPN firing Mark Jackson. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, hit that notification button, but always comment on this video. Mark Jackson is the newest casualty over at ESPN. He has been on their main broadcast with Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen for years. They were the best team in basketball I have ever seen. When they do a game, it's a special thing to watch and listen to them talk about the ins and outs of basketball. But to see Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson go, it seems like it's cost cutting. But we always thought that Mark Jackson head was on the chopping block because of what he stands for. He's a Christian man. He stands against the LGBTQ community. That's one of the reasons why he lost his job at the Golden State Warriors. But this man, Mark Jackson, is a great man. He's a man with integrity, a man who stands by his word. He is truly a role model for young men who want to get in professional sports, play the game, coach, and be a tremendous announcer. And it's sad to see him and Jeff Van Gundy go, because these two, they set a standard when it came to basketball, especially for the modern day athlete. They basically knew how they worked, how they basically played the game, and they did everything right when it came to technically talking about the game of basketball. But ESPN seems to want to replace them with the new trio. Yes, Mike Breen will be back, and they will bring in possibly Doris Burke and Doc Rivers, basically trying to spice everything up for the woke community who is probably complaining there's not a woman in there. Doris Burke is one of the finest NBA announcers there is. Very good. You're not taking a step down. But when you talk about getting rid of these three, just a pleasure to watch, just hilarious to watch. Just to have them do a game for 2.5 hours is something special. But you want to know why Mark Jackson is out. He has had several interviews with teams. No one would hire him because of his political stance. And he never wavered as a man. And that's the thing you got to understand. Yes, he wants to coach. He would love to coach. But he's a man. And he believes a man should stand by his principles. And that's what Mark Jackson has done ever since he was fired at Golden State and took the job at ESPN. He's a fabulous person. Him and Jeff Van Gundy are fabulous announcers. Hopefully they get hired by NBA TV, the New York Knicks, and the Brooklyn Nets, somebody, because these two need to be listened to, especially by these young players out here who believe they're all about themselves, and they can basically tell them by what it's about the team. It's not you. But ESPN is making some tremendous mistakes. They're letting go some talent because they're financially hurting. You let go Van Gundy. You let go Mark Jackson, Kellerman, David Pollack on their highest rated show, College Football Saturday. They let him go. But they're keeping Malika Andrews. How can they keep that witch? I'm talking about that witch is surviving all cuts because she's there for a reason. She's there to be the strike against black men, basically for white America. Her job is to make sure every time a black man does something in sports that you will definitely hear about it from Malika Andrews. And she's still going to be doing the NBA Today, her sideline reporting. For what reason, I don't know. But when you get rid of immense talents like Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy. It's a sad day in sports. They deserved the money they was making. Maybe the NBA themselves didn't want them around anymore because they were highly critical. But we'll see. We'll see what ESPN will be like with all these cuts. It's not like they're bringing in new, fresh talent. Yes, they hire Pat McAfee. He's in a little bit of hot water because of what he said with Nasir at Michigan State about the uniforms. But right now, you're talking about getting rid of world-class talent. So ESPN is hurting extremely bad. They were talking about the NBA and the NFL investing in this failed product because of court cutting, and that seems to be a serious problem. But when you see these guys leave, they have to make cost cuts somewhere, especially when they're talking about bringing in Shannon Sharp. That's going to cost you. They brought in Pat McAfee. That's costing you big money. So you getting rid of talents like Mark Jackson. Yes, you may have to pay a few more dollars in his contract, but this guy was good. He was good. And we're going to see some other people go. I believe by the end of this year, you're going to see Sage Steele will be gone once she finalizes her deal with ESPN. She'll be fired. And a few other people will be fired because of the time they have there and the money they're making. ESPN is becoming bargain basement right now. But we all knew that Mark was going to be fired. We all knew it was coming eventually. They're celebrating over at the LGBTQ offices because they felt that this man was not woke enough. Now they have their woke trio that they really want, and they don't have to pay that type of money. But Mark Jackson did a fabulous job, and hopefully he'll get a coaching job. It may not be in the NBA, it may be in college, I don't know. But maybe he'll just be satisfied with just watching the game and teaching young players how to play the game. ESPN is going down slowly and is dying quickly. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.